Good morning. Welcome back to day 2 of this WFTDA regional tournament in Malmo, Sweden. I'm Loud and Queer.
I'm Sven, will I be famous?
And we're joined on production by Billy Nosegates for the second game of the day. Although we are both, we're all still reeling from the first game of the day. Sven, do you want to give your response to that? Because I'm not sure I've got words yet.
I mean, that last half had everything, and it literally came down to that second last jam. And that was the big one there. It was like that last penalty picked up by Lily Gaskell. We were sat in the stands and we said all that Ziggy Starpass, who's been one of my standout jammers anyway, all they had to do was get through and get lead, and that was the game.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. So I think we're all reading from that. So hopefully everyone's blood pressure has dropped a little bit, and we're ready for another game where it'll ramp up again, as we've got Crime City Rollers against Stockholm Roller Derby.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been physiologically altered for all time. But yes, in case you don't know what we're talking about, there was a big upset game 1 of today where Rainy City Roller Derby, the number 3 seed in this tournament, and really hoping to go to champs, were beaten by, I think, 6 points in the end by Nantes Roller Derby. And really excitingly, history's being made, Sven, because that means that for the first time ever, I'm pretty sure, a French team will definitely be going to champs, because it will either Nantes or Toulouse there's a guaranteed spot for a French team. But we have our host league, Crime City Rollers, taking the track for the first time in this tournament today. Do you want to talk us through... You're going to go through Crime City?
I'll go through the Crime City roster. So we have today playing, we have 0030 Diamawa, 04 Vilda, 07 is Nasty, 112 Polytrauma, 14 Spino, 163 Yaz, 17 Ebba Metz, number 2 is Nordberg, 23 Rhino, 247 Benezi, number 5 is Lil Mads, 53 Dykestalker, who's the captain, 56 is Reggae, 666 is Hannah Statana, and 90 is Vanilla Slice. If you can take us through the Stockholm Roller Derby Allstars roster now, please.
So, playing in white today, we have Stockholm Roller Derby All-Stars. We have 1-0 Rainbow Spite, 1-1-1 Helsinki, 1-3 Fright Day, 1-6-4 Idaho, 2-0 Smartan, 2-4-1 Grumpy, 2-5 Vagabondage, 4 Foxin, 4-0-4 Partio, 5-3-0 Slender Woman, 5-5 Fury, 5-6 Dew King, 5-7 Lam, 6-1-4 Tracktorn, 8-1-7 Scandi Crush, and 9-9 Yelmet the Conqueror. And now Stockholm had an upset yesterday, of course, because they played the number 7 seed Helsinki and won that game, which was really exciting. They won it 168-30 in the end. And after this morning with Rainy City Non, although Crime City are the favourites to win this game, honestly, anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, these type of tournaments are the kind of things where you do get those upsets in the seedings. The main thing, as long as we get a good, close, exciting game, I'm all for it. But we're going to start off with Vanilla Slice jamming in the purple for Crime City Rollers against Yelmet the Conqueror for Stockholm, who are, of course, in that white. And it's Vanilla Slice that's out and running first, picks up the first lead of the game. Yelmet removes the helmet cover.
Yeah, lovely clogging work there from Crime City. You've got Yaz, Dimara and Nasty with that tripod at the front. Crime has already lost a blocker to the box, but when your pivot is Nasty, you don't need more than 3 players.
Yelmet is out and through the initial, but Vanilla Slice calls up the jam before Yelmet can get in. 4-point pickup by Crime City to open the scoring in Jam 1.
This is an exciting game as well, because although historically Crime City and Stockholm have played each other a lot, this is the first time in over a year, I believe, that they've played a sanctioned game against each other.
Yeah, not played a game in this calendar season.
Yeah, and it's exciting to see a couple of old faces returning to the Stockholm roster, Partio and Dew King, who used to skate under King K. And speaking of, we've got Partio wearing the star for Stockholm, Reggae for Crime, and a really tangled pack going into turn 2. But a first lead of the game for Stockholm and Partio.
fright day for Stockholm, going to Triple Eight penalty box, picking up the forearm penalty.
Yeah, that Triple Eight penalty box has been very busy this weekend. And Partio, playing the conservative go-around, will pick up.
Just getting a confirmation from the OPRs.
Yeah, all 4 going up. Oh no, 3. I can't
points.
count this morning. Or any time, really. So at very early stage, we already have a 1-point game. How jolly exciting.
As we said, as long as it's close.
How very fortunate we are to be in this beautiful sports hall in Malmö, Sweden.
So we have Lil Mads next up for Crime City against Smertan for Stockholm.
Smertan had a really great game yesterday. Such a strong physical jammer and giving Crime a good deal of work to do there.
Big hit out by Nasty on the outside.
Yeah, lovely tripod from Stockholm at the front. Great catch from Isaho on Lil Mads.
To Friday, able to break up that 3 wall at the back.
30 seconds elapsed and no lead established. All the action happening in turn 2. Tis the year of the blockers, Sven.
Yeah. We've got 2 bridges out now. Dimauer for Crime just bridging now. Goes up on the offence.
And do you know what? Yesterday, we've seen a lot of very fast and furious roller derby, particularly with our highly skilled French teams taking the track. But this is good old-fashioned Swedish roller derby, getting into that grind. Big recycle there from Friday on Lil Mads. Yaz from Crime City being lost to the box on a back block, I believe.
Over a minute into this jam and there is still no lead jammer, which means this jam is not going to.
I'm just mesmerised by this defence at the moment. Stockholm dropping to Aldi, are now dropping Rainbow Spite to offence. Really nice switching work there from Stockholm.
A minute and a half and we've barely gone halfway around the track and we haven't established lead.
I've just heard our house announcer, Shalyn Scarlett, go, guys, this is some international level roller derby. And you know, she's not wrong. We've got another Crime Bocker going to the box on a forearm, that's Rhino. But look at this pair work from Dimauer and Nasty. And Smartan, with 5 seconds to go, picks up lead. Unreal work there from both teams.
I mean, that was a 1 minute 58 second jam, but if you're ready to make 2 minute jams feel easy and you're tired of second guessing your training routine, want to feel more confident when you step on the track, then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you start a Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2 minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone's in the pack. Life is a contact sport. Win.
We have Vanilla Slice and Duking out for the first time this game for Stockholm, but Vanilla Slice picks up a second consecutive lead, for them and for Crime City Rollers. Fly into Fury and a nice star pass from Stockholm off to Foxen, a very familiar pivot for the team in white.
Well-timed call-off there by Vanilla Slice, allowing it was Rhino to come out of the box, which means Crime will be back to 4 on track at the start of this one, and they're all positioned on our Sucker Punch skate shop jam line. And we've got Yelmet the Conqueror lining up for Stockholm against Reggae for Crime.
I'd just like to very quickly give a quick thank you to our skating officials for this game. John Quad Grand Slam, Divide by Zero, Chuck, Homo You Didn't, Lise, Kurt So Good and Lucas. Our wonderful people in stripes, keeping us all safe and obedient. Lovely offense coming in from Yaz on one of the Stockholm blockers, and Reggae goes down the inside, picks up leads after almost 30 seconds. So again, great defensive work here from both teams.
So Reggae hits the back of that Stockholm 3 wall.
Yeah, that's been braced by Scandi Crush, who is such a good pair of eyes on track. Stockholm now dropping to full D, and then Scandi, takes the pivot, from Yelmet. and stays in bounds really well. Oh, I wish they'd let Scante have a go round. She's a great jammer when she gets going.
Yeah, but a great example there of switching straight away from being the brace in that 3 wall
100%.
to becoming the jammer in a second.
The thing is, Sven, is that all these people have the ability that I don't have, which is the ability to do more than one thing at once. That's why they're such good roller derby players.
We're watching roller derby and talking about it, so that counts.
You make a valid point, but imagine if we had to do one more thing. Lil Mads taking a little bit of a knee, but popping back up to reset against Vagabondage. Stockholm again in a full defensive structure here. And now dropping a bridge.
Partio jamming for Stockholm, currently held up at the back. And we're going to lose. It is Fury for Stockholm through a multiplayer at the front, which is going to make it a little bit easier for Lil Mad. The out of play called, picks up leads.
Partio working really hard. I think that is against Dyke Stalker, just such a strong hold in the wall. Now switching over to this tripod with Spino at the back, Dyke Stalker bracing, and I think that's Hannah Satana on the outside. But look at this Stockholm tripod going. Anything Crime City can do, we can also do, and a different place in the pack.
Fury's coming back to track for Stockholm now, giving them the blocker advantage, but however, immediately picks up the back block.
Yeah, goes straight in. I think that was into Dyke Stalker and goes back to our 888 penalty box. Oh, lovely tenacity there from Partio, who with 1:20 elapsed in the jam manages to complete the initial pass.
So Nordberg was released from the box for Crime, so Crime are going to have the blocker advantage going into jam 7.
But look at this score, Sven. Like, it feels like I've aged several years in just 9 minutes, but the score's only 15-3.
Yeah, I mean, we've had quite a few hard-fought jams in terms of the jammers trying to find ways through the walls, and the walls basically hold them up. We had that 1 minute 50-odd jam before anyone even got out for lead.
And what is characteristic in this game is that, unlike a lot of other games we've seen, these jam starts are proving really challenging for both teams. We've not had any of those super quick 3 seconds. As I say that, Vanilla Slice does escape, but it did take 12 seconds, and we've seen some quick runs from a lot of teams this weekend. Lamb's first time with the star today for Stockholm, but still snarled up behind Nasty and Dimauer. Crime City losing Yaz to the 888 penalty box. And Vanilla Slice fights through for those 4 points as Lamb completes the initial.
So Vanilla is asking for the Crime pack to move. I think they're trying to get some released out of the box, but yeah, we do get Rhino out of the box in time.
I think Crime are willing to play down if it's allowing them to conserve the points on the jam. Because I think with the really close games and the upsets this weekend, you know, Crime is super experienced. They're not going to go into this arrogance. They're not going to go into this with any kind of complacency. They know that they need to conserve every lead that they get in order to guarantee them a bid to tomorrow's the semi-finals and finals. Or is this the semi-final? I've lost track, Sven. The winner of this game will play the winner of the previous game, I think. Yeah. So, juking on the first power jam with juking wearing the star, flies into Vilda, who takes a hit and does have to work really hard around Vilda and Yaz for those 4 points.
So Friday picks up the back block.
Yeah.
Goes to sit in our 888 penalty box. It's one thing I think Crime are going to have to get a lid on. So already we're about 12 minutes into the game, and they've had quite a few blockers in the box already. A few of them have already got 2 penalties, so I think Rhino on 2, Yaz is on 2 already.
I wonder if we could get a penalty update, Billy, just to see. Oh, are they not?
Computer says no.
Our wonderful producer, Billy No Skates, has a very fancy computer in front of them, which is all kinds of numbers, but the technology gods are not with us this morning, people of the Roller Derby internet, so we're having to go old school. We're going pen and paper.
Yelmet the Conqueror for Stockholm against Lil Mads for Crime.
Yeah, Bonesy and Dimauer really holding strong against Yelmet there, but Yelmet really physical work and continues to keep pushing. Is on the inside. Purple bodies everywhere at the moment in turn 1.
We're back to 4-on-4, which is just jamming up that turn 1-2 apex with blockers.
The really tight structures of these walls are lovely to see. We've not got these very spread triangles. Oh, we thought Yelmet was picking up the lead, but a low block issued. And so we have a power jam for Lil Mads. This is the first power jam in favour of Crime, I believe.
Yep. And we'll see what Lil Mads can do here. Got plenty of offense. Yaz has been brilliant on the offense, breaking up the wall to get the Crime jammers through.
Mads picks up lead, just over a minute into the jam. Bonesy taking a seat in the 888 penalty box as Yelmet stands. And Crime really working on splitting Stockholm apart.
Yelmet is released from the box now, so power jam over. And now Stockholm with the slight track advantage in terms of blockers.
Yeah, and they're doing really well at shutting Mads down as Yelmet. Oh no, Yelmet having some real bad luck because thought she broke through cleanly, but she has been sent back to the 888 penalty box for a forearm.
I think we're going to get either an official review or a timeout call. It looks like it's going to be a team timeout call by Stockholm.
Yeah, and Stockholm's bench is just shaving a few seconds off before they ask for that timeout. What do you make of this game so far, Sven? I feel like the pace has really changed up in the last few jams.
So we're almost 15 minutes through, 14 minutes through the first period, and the score is 23-8.
That's
which, yeah,
bonkers, isn't it?
We're not picking up many points in the jam. And I think that's just testament to how strong and dynamic these blocking walls are, as in the jammers haven't managed to figure out the strategy to break each other's lines.
It feels like very classically built tripods in terms of very low and strong in the back with a confident brace, as in the shapes don't look really different, but then if you watch carefully you'll see that they're angled in such a way so that it makes it more difficult for offense to move those back walls or the people in those back walls. It's really smart derby and I love to see it, but I wonder what the game change is going to be. I wonder if they're going to figure out something different.
Well, normally, when we see this kind of timeout, it's often to give a bit of a rest and get everyone's heads back in it, but also to get everyone together and have a quick briefing of, right, we're going to change up the tactics a bit, we're going to play that style, we're going to play this style now. And we'll see if this works for Stockholm coming out. Obviously, they're on the penalty kill immediately.
Yeah, classic, beautiful power jam style offense there from Crime City, who just keeps Stockholm apart. Vanilla flies into the wall, caught by Scandi Crush at the top of the pack. And we're all going backwards now.
Oh, and everyone's going backwards. Take a drink.
So Yelmet is standing in the box, almost ready now. Yelmet is released. So bear in mind, Yelmet picked up 2 penalties in that previous jam.
Yeah.
Not to let that backward skating pack phase them.
And, you know, I've seen Vanilla put up some really monster jams previously, so maybe this could be what gives Crime City that very definitive lead. Yelmet has star in hand. The pivot Foxen is in attendance and takes that star pass really well. Beautiful positioning. I think that's the biggest jam of the game so far, you know, Sven.
I think it definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean,
12 points going up for Crime City Rollers. And now, although it's not significantly more, it looks significantly more, doesn't it, when you've got 35-8 on the board?
yeah, we know that, like, that differential isn't really much in terms of most roller derby games, but just the way this first 15 minutes is shaped out, we know every point here is taking everything to win it. But as I say that, we've got Reggae straight through, picks up quick lead.
Rhino going back to the 888 penalty box, and that's got to be at least their third penalty.
Partio gets through at the front as a out of play called on Yaz.
Foxen also going to the 888 penalty box. And yeah, everything feels a little frantic.
Yeah, and we'll give a shout out to our 888 penalty box, as they've seen a lot of action already in the game, revolutionising roller derby safety with cutting-edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options. Stay protected with 888, and that box, as I say, it's seen quite a lot of action already. And I think it's one of the things, especially Crime, have got to look out for, because there's a few of their blockers are already creeping up in terms of penalty numbers, and it's the blockers that are having a lot of effect on the actual Stockholm walls.
Yeah.
So that could play out later in the game, and it might give Stockholm a bit more chance to catch up if the Crime blockers have got to be a bit more conservative to avoid those penalties.
Oh, really patient, lovely work there from Ju King, who just sees a gap with a pause of momentum, picks up a much needed lead for Stockholm. Lil Mad's out on the initial, and Crime City held scoreless in that jam. Billy, are you able to tell us how many scoreless jams we've had? Just one. For Crime City. Yeah, just one scoreless jam for Crime City. So really great work there from Stockholm. That was Stockholm's first lead in 3 jams and their first points in 3 jams. So nice work there. I was about to say from the Swedish team, but I realised that doesn't work in this scenario.
But it's 3-on-3 on the pack as Smertan and Vanilla Slice attack it. Vanilla Slice gets through for lead, sliding over at apex.
Yes, Smertan with star in hand and a 2-wall of Fright Day and Fury, and now accompanied by Foxen. But Vanilla Slice, so like, her pathfinding is so good, and she just needs a couple of inches to make the pass.
Spino doing some good work on the offense to break up that Stockholm 3, but they've recaptured Vanilla Slice at the front. But the forearms is picked up by Eisenhower.
And Foxen now with the star and having a real tough time there against Nasty Dimara and Spino. And now just Fury caught napping a little bit there by Vanilla Slice.
Yeah.
And Stockholm not really getting into a formation. Now Foxen dropping for a little bit of defensive jamming, but taking it to the infield in the process.
If there's any blockers at home that want to see how you be effective on offense and just making a hole for your jammer, watch 163 for Crime City here, Yaz. On every pass in this jam, Yaz has created a space for Vanilla Slice to get through.
And as I tentatively predicted, Vanilla Slice being a real game changer here. This is the biggest jam so far with 16 on the board, and probably has points in the pocket as she calls the jam.
That was a big jam.
20 points.
20 points on the board.
So almost a third of Crime City's points in a single jam.
20 points is...
Oosh is the technical term, I believe.
Yes, I mean,
big oosh.
And so after that timeout, it seems to come out in favour of Crime, because since that timeout, Crime have basically put about 30 points on the board. And now we're going to see if Reggae can add to that, going up against Party O. Reggae finding the space up the inside, has one to beat.
Really?
Just got to get past Friday and picks up a lead for Crime.
Yeah, Friday has done some fantastic one-on-one blocking for Stockholm, but Reggae is super physical and very good footwork. I was going to say stays in bounds, but actually picks up a forearm on, I think, the re-entry, and it is now a power jam for Party O.
So that's the initial pass completed for Party O.
Stockholm, having 3 floating, Scandi keeping Vilda away from her pals.
So currently Stockholm have the blocker advantage. It's 4-on-3 in that pack on the power jam. Reggae is standing, so 10 seconds before release.
And this is Stockholm's second power jam. Really good eyes there from Party O. Knows that she was safe to come back on track with those 4 points safely secured. Reggae now returning to play, but of course no lead jammer, so we will be going for the 2 minutes.
So Party O just taking a knock and gone to the outside, calls off the jam.
Now I think Party O called that jam, but was not lead. So I think was calling it to signal I'm injured.
Yep.
Please don't continue play, which is kind of allowable. So thank you so much to our medics as well, who are in attendance this whole weekend to keep us safe.
But that was an 8-point power jam for Stockholm.
11 points in total. So that's Stockholm's biggest jam of the game. Crime's biggest jam being 20. That's really nice work there from Party O and the team playing in white.
But of course Party O will have to sit for at least 3 now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 jams just to quickly get checked out by the excellent medical team here this weekend.
And since we've just had a jam called for injury, we would like to thank one of our amazing sponsors, 187 Killer Pads, who are worn by the most pros in the world, and if you skate, you know why. They're made of industrial stroke materials. They have an unmatched ergonomic design and unparalleled excellence. So do check them out if you Google 187 Killer Pads. Now, this could be a real doozy for Crime City with Party O out of the rotation for 3 jams, because she has been Stockholm's most successful jammer. Hjelmet the Conqueror had a barnstormer of a game yesterday against Helsinki. An ex-Birmingham player, so a lot of UK fans in the audience for Hjelmet this weekend. A lot of her old Birmingham teammates. Look at this lovely staggered defensive wall from Crime City.
Yeah, Fenella Slice having trouble getting through, but Hjelmet gets through, and we get a star pass attempt to Yaz.
Yeah.
Great work from Tractone just to move Yaz away from that star pass.
Yeah, really lovely eyes there from that Stockholm pivot. Forearm going to Scandi Crush, so everyone's a bit spread out and discombobulated on this track. And Hjelmet calls the jam before Fenella has time to re-enter on the first scoring pass.
But it was a 3-point pickup from Stockholm, bringing our score 64 Crime, Stockholm 26. Still got 7 3/4 minutes left in this first period.
And do you know what? It's testament to the quality of derby we've seen this weekend so far. That I think that's only, apart from the Lom Nonk game, which had quite a large differential, I think this is the biggest differential we've seen so far this weekend, and it's really not that big. I'm not going to do the maths because I've not had any coffee this morning. Juking. Do you know what? It's so good to see them back in white and blue for Stockholm. They're having a really fantastic tournament. Lead currently for Stockholm. Friday throwing in some offence.
Lil Mads did a quick star pass to Dyke Stalker, who's now completed the initial trip and is trying to step around the inside of the pack, but now switches outside and just has to roll past Friday to pick up 4.
And Dyke Stalker, Crime City's captain, one of the most experienced skaters out there for our home league, and picks up 2 points. No, 5 points, sorry, in total. A really nice score for Crime City. 69 plays 28 with 6.5 minutes to go in period 1.
5 points for Crime City.
Sven, it might seem like a trite question, but is there anyone who's really standing out for you? I know it's a team sport, but let's be honest, we all have people who our eyes are drawn to.
I've been watching a lot of the blockers because I think some of the blockers have been making moves. As I say, we've got Yaz on track at the moment, and you'll see here as Reggae comes around, watch Yaz try and open up the space. Really good offensive blocker, especially when the jammer is like in, well timed to open up. We've got some similar action in some of the Stockholm blockers, not on track at the moment, doing that work to open up, but not seem to be as effective at doing it at speed.
Yeah, we're really spread out. It seems a very far cry from that original grindy defence we had going on. And Stockholm attempting to take up as much space as possible. Scandi with a little shoulder hit on Reggae, lovely controlled work. Bonesy going to the 888 penalty box. Larm is still in the box for Stockholm, so that means a power start for Crime and Vanilla. This could be dangerous territory for Stockholm.
And it looks like Stockholm are using an official review here.
I will be interested to hear what that is.
So I think they were originally going to take a team timeout, but one of the skaters from that jam went and had a chat with the bench, and the bench has now gone in to request an official review.
So we will hear from our referee crew first of all. Just like to give a shout out to our Sucker Punch Skate Shop, who are our Jamline sponsor at this whole tournament. They're the biggest roller derby shop in Europe. They have fast shipping, they have the largest stock, they have expert advice at the best price. So you can check out Sucker Punch Skate Shop on all social media and their website for all your roller derby needs. We're really grateful to have their sponsorship and support this weekend.
But as we were talking about standout players, I think...
Yeah, sorry, I lost my thread there with you, didn't I?
We got excited with the jam. But yeah, I think Friday, who the number 13 for Stockholm, again has been a really good game so far. Has been there quite a lot of the time, tracking the jammers out front. Normally they're the last line of defence for Stockholm. And I say, in terms of the jammers, obviously Vanilla Slice is always one of my personal favourites whenever I see Vanilla jamming for Crime. Really good, seems to have a lot of speed behind them. And on the... we're going to get the...
We'll just pause, we'll come back to that in a second.
Stockholm had elected to use their official review. They are contesting the sequence of events which occurred with the Stockholm 5-7, in that they believe they should be serving the penalty as a blocker and not as a jammer.
A sequence of events official review. So, number 5-7 Larm is currently in the box wearing the Jammer Star. However, that Jammer Star was handed to them by Scandi Crush at the end of the jam, suggesting that Scandi Crush had taken the Star Pass. Stockholm are basically contesting that 5-7 should be sitting this penalty as a blocker, not as a jammer. That is a very technical penalty.
Yes, it's going to come down to the timing of when the penalty was issued. Had the transfer of the star occurred at the point of the penalty being issued? At the point that the penalty was the player penalised before or after the star pass, is what we should say.
And here we go.
This from this side of the hall. Are you sitting there on purpose to conduct like an orchestra? Love it, love it. And this is why we all love roller derby.
The no call will stand as the penalty occurred as the star was being passed across to the pivot. Contact to the face was observed as the cover was released. Therefore, white 5-7 will continue to serve as the champion.
Oh, lovely clear update on that official review from our head referee, John Quad Grand Slam. The no call will stand. That means that Lahm is going to start in the box as a jammer for Stockholm. So we have yet another power start with Vanilla Slice behind the Sucker Punch jammer line. I would not want to be Stockholm right now.
Well, Stockholm, we've got the blocker advantage for this, but look at the way that Crime's set up to disrupt that wall. Now, Vanilla did get caught at the pivot line, and Lahm is released from the penalty box now, looking for Foxen, I believe.
Yeah, Foxen is such a great versatile pivot. Speaking of standout players from you, she's never somebody who's perhaps really mentioned as much by us as she should be, but Spino for me on Crime City, so low, but so well positioned and really good control. You see her blocking with Hannah Satana at the back of the wall there for Crime, as Lahm attempts the star pass. But it's a pile up in turn 2. Vanilla Slice taking advantage of that chaos. 2 blockers heading to the 888 penalty box.
Okay, so Foxen took a star pass,
but was not legally completed.
was called out of play, so then got the failure to return as a blocker. So it looks like we're going to have...
Yeah, this is the day of star passes not working
so
as they should.
And Lahm is going to be in the box as a jammer, along with 2 Stockholm blockers, including Fox and the pivot.
And this is going wrong not because of Stockholm's skill level, but because of the technicalities of the game and procedures not going how they want them to go.
Well, that's the second star pass where a penalty has occurred in the star pass, and it's caused... Well, the first one was an official review, and now it's obviously caused both the pivot and the jammer to go to the box.
And the thing is, Stockholm are very, very well drilled in the star passes. You've got Foxen out there who has been the stalwart in Euro Derby for the last however many years, constantly pivoting. They are really used to this, and they have historically used star passes very well to narrow the differential. So something is not clicking today. The refs are being very hot on illegal procedures, as they should be at a tournament this level. But it's a real shame for Stockholm that they're not able to capitalise on those opportunities right now. Score stands 89-28 in favour of Crime City Rollers, 3.5 minutes to go in the half. And our wonderful producer, Billy Nosegates, tells me that Vanilla Slice, wearing the star now for Crime City, has scored 44 points in 3 jams. Sven, I've never scored 44 points in my life, total, for roller derby.
I mean, neither have I, but I've never played, so...
Well, I mean, you've got a vague excuse then.
But talk about opportunities now, though. Vanilla Slice, 3-on-2 pack advantage on the power start. Pack is currently near the pivot line. We're still in an official timeout at the moment.
I get it.
So it's something that's going to be, again, one of these things that we might see play out a bit more in the second period, especially. Stockholm have currently burned 2 of their timeouts.
Yeah.
And when you're a team that's like behind, going at the second period, you really want as many timeouts as possible, because without the timeouts, it lets the other team control the clock. If they can burn time, if they can run short jams and run the clock down with line-up time, and you can't stop that, you're gonna run out of time towards the end of the game.
Do they not get new timeouts in the second half?
You get a new official review, you don't get new timeouts.
I really should know that. Vanilla Slice very quick through for Leeds. Friday trying to catch Vanilla Slice, but so fast. Micro pack on track now as Nasty heads to the 888 penalty box. Just D, Mauer, Scandi Crush, Friday and Yaz.
We've got a bunch of skaters all standing. In fact, we get 4 coming out at once. Back to track, so we go immediately from 2-on-2 to 4-on-3.
And now Vanilla Slice having to work a little bit harder around Rainbow Spite and Scandi Crush.
Dimau after committing to the bridge. Strung out at the front. Lam just trying to...
And Hannah Satana doing a really great job there. One-on-one at the front. Lam eventually gets past, but that looked like hard work for the Stockholm Jammer.
What masterclass of backwards blocking there.
I think 12 points picked up by Crime City in the jam takes them over the century. 101 plays 28.
And you know what, I think, and I know this might not be the total correct number, but I think this is only the third game this weekend to go over the century before half-time.
I'm going to trust you on those stats. Billy's nodding, so...
Yeah, because one was Nantes yesterday against Lom. I'm going to just check my stats because I do have them written down. And I like that statistic, I'll have you know. And the other one was London-Antwerp yesterday. So London were at 112 by the half-time. But apart from that, all our scores at the half-time have been really low. I think... Our house announcers got me a bit confused there because they were saying it was half-time. And I was like, I'm sure that's not how time has worked.
I think there's... We've got the usual tech gremlins have crept in. We were about 2 minutes left on the play clock for the period.
Do you know, a really big shout out to our tech crew for this weekend, running stream and all the computers and everything. Not my bag at all, really respect the people who do it. And since I didn't thank them earlier, a really big thank you to our non-skating officials for this game. X-Ray Ted, Blind Io, Eagle Eye Mary, Trash Panda, Alpignetti, Felspeth, Supreme Overlord, Mina Harker, Abracafabra and Penalty Block, because they have been doing a shift with all these penalties flying thick and fast in this game.
And we'll also give a shout out to Skate and Create Factory. Need a gift for the skater in your life? Get skate themed art, stickers and gifts from Create and Skate Factory, a passion project by Jukebox. Duke is a fellow derby skater playing in Barcelona, but you may remember her for her time skating with London Roller Derby, USA Roller Derby, Minnesota and Madison. You can find out more on www.createandskatefactory.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Create and Skate Factory. And remember, every sale supports a fellow skater.
Yeah, I do love Duke's Create and Skate Factory creations. They're really fantastic. Thank you to all our brilliant sponsors this weekend for keeping us rolling. We do apologise for this technical error. We've got a nice little shot on the screen of our crowd. This venue is unreal as well, and you can see it starting to fill up, people slowly getting caffeinated.
Yeah, I love this venue. I think I was here in 2017 when it was the regional playoffs. And just when the crowd is in here, especially as we know with especially the Crime City fans and the Stockholm fans, when they get a chant going, when they get a song going, it kind of fills the place up.
The Swedish love to sing. It's really, it's fantastic. And I believe we're going to be very busy in here tomorrow because I think Crime City have a kind of a promotion on for the local community, so they're hoping to fill up that side of the hall. So we are just going to tell you some more stats while we are in a technical timeout. Vanilla, again, just the standout jam of this game. 56 points out of Crime City's 101, so over 50% of the points scored. 3 lots of 12 and 1 lot of 20, just absolutely stellar. Duking also on 11 and Partio on 11, so doing a great job, but not able to catch up to that Crime City superstar.
Yeah, I mean, Crime have done a great job of opening this game up. Considering it was quite a tight game, you know, we said like those opening kind of 4 or 5 jams, you know, you couldn't get anything between the two teams and they were really struggling to get through each other's walls. And something's obviously clicked for Crime in that they've now been able to find a way through, break up the Stockholm defence and actually start piling those points. And I know there's been a couple of big power jam opportunities for Crime. You know, we had the double penalty, it was Lom, we had a double penalty in one jam, which didn't help. We've had a few other situations where Stockholm just haven't had the opportunities in terms of numbers on track to stop the power jams. So they've had the disadvantage, the power jam with the deficit of blockers. But it does look like someone's put 50 pence back in the meter.
Imagine if the scoreboard was run like a vending machine or a car parking meter, and we had to crowdfund it.
I mean, don't suggest it.
I mean, anything could happen. So
we can see we've got 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we're going to be back up and running in just a second with a fully functioning scoreboard, people.
We're just waiting for our NSOs to get their
ducks in a row.
Well, tablets reset, I was going to say, but if they've got ducks, they're probably aligning those as well.
Ducks in a row is a very strange idiom.
Next time, maybe run with the snakes as well.
And we've got a bit of a Renaissance painting freeze frame on track right now. Players going, come on, chaps. We're only a couple of minutes from half time. We want to go chat with our team.
101 points to Crime City and 28 points to Stockholm. That's a pretty commanding lead, but like I said, this weekend has already been full of surprises, so... It has.
But looks like, I mean, lining up next, it's Reggae, and can you see, unfortunately, Reggae is standing directly in front of the Stockholm Jammer.
I'm going to say...
From my point of view, can you see who the Stockholm Jammer is going to be?
That's 56, Dew King.
That's Dew King.
Yeah.
I had that bad angle where I couldn't see arm or a back.
Do you know what? It's interesting, having seen Crime City play quite recently, because they came to London and played against Rainy as well. Reggae seemed a lot more dominant in those games, and I wonder if it's just, Vanilla is obviously having a great game, and
I think it's
just on a high rotation.
It's just
feels like we've not seen her that much.
Being overshadowed. Reggae's done really well whenever Reggae's been on track, but whenever we've seen Vanilla, we've gone, okay, there's where the points are coming from.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I was not saying, that Reggae, she's not very good, is she? She's unbelievable.
All right.
Right, let's play some roller derby. Thank you for your patience during that official timeout, but we can't play without a scoreboard. Let's go. Reggae on the out, Dew King taking the in,
On our sucker punch.
and is keeping a very careful eye on the referees. Reggae escapes through a gap, and Crime in this formation that's just snarling up. Dew King now working around Dyke Stalker to complete the initial.
You mentioned Spino before, but Spino there with a great move to actually just go in and jump ahead and get in the way and just hold up.
Yeah, she's just got such fantastic awareness and just really controlled positioning. I love watching her play. We've now got Yelmit up against Vanilla Slice. This might be the last jam of the half. We will see how quickly it goes.
4-3 blocker advantage currently for Stockholm.
But that's not really made a massive difference, has it, when Crime have been at a deficit, because they're able to cover the track so well as a three. And there goes Vanilla, just skating past the hips of Friday.
Taking a lovely whip off Yaz to get round there. You don't see old school shirt whips that much these days.
You sound like such a grandpa, Sven. Oh, back in my day, the shirt whips were what won the game. Lovely controlled call off there by Vanilla Slice. And we've got 107 for Crime City, 28 for Stockholm. And there was a star pass at the end of that round to Stockholm, but it happened so quickly I didn't see it.
So
Last jam of the
Reggae again.
half, yep. And
Partio.
Partio scanned, and now we've got a bit of a reformation going on with Stockholm at the front. Partio really strong, pushing against that wall, but so good at tracking her movements. Stockholm have had 5 scoreless jams. Is that in a row, Billy? Yeah, in a row. So Partio really wanting to end this period on a high.
Spin move on the inside of the apex, but picks up the back block.
Oh,
So Partio going to
really?
the penalty box for Stockholm.
And that's some really bad luck. That leaves Reggae with lead on a power jam. That's not how how Stockholm would have wanted to end this half.
Now, do you run and get as many points as you can, or do you? In fact, I can already see Steve saying to call it, because now you're going to start the next period on a power start.
Absolutely.
Which is the question I was going to ask, and Steve answered it for me.
Yeah, well, that's been a really great first half of game, I believe that's game 8 of the weekend. And we will be back in about 12 minutes to take you through the second half. Go refresh your beverage, say hello to the people you've neglected whilst you've committed your life to roller derby, and we will see you back here very shortly.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
Hi, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today testing our new shock-absorbing sizing liners, the RAD liners. RAD foam reduces, absorbs, and disperses energy. With the creation of the RAD liners, we sought to change the single purpose of a traditional sizing liner and not only make it a sizing liner, but also a sweat absorber and impact reducer. S1 RAD liners feature our proprietary special blend of foam that add an additional layer of impact reduction built into the sizing liner that reduce, absorb, and disperse impact energy away from the head when impacted. Lab tests show that depending on the impact, RAD liners reduced impact energy an additional 7.5% to 16.5%, averaging 12% energy reduction to the head in all liners tested. RAD liners are sized just like our standard sizing liners and fit into all S1 Lifer helmets, and are covered in a sweat-absorbing, hand-washable terry cloth fabric. S1 RAD liners, next level protection.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Whoop.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
Hi, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today testing our new shock-absorbing sizing liners, the RAD liners. RAD foam reduces, absorbs, and disperses energy. With the creation of the RAD liners, we sought to change the single purpose of a traditional sizing liner and not only make it a sizing liner, but also a sweat absorber and impact reducer. S1 RAD liners feature our proprietary special blend of foam that add an additional layer of impact reduction built into the sizing liner that reduce, absorb, and disperse impact energy away from the head when impacted. Lab tests show that depending on the impact, RAD liners reduced impact energy an additional 7.5% to 16.5%, averaging 12% energy reduction to the head in all liners tested. RAD liners are sized just like our standard sizing liners and fit into all S1 Lifer helmets and are covered in a sweat-absorbing, hand-washable terry cloth fabric. S1 RAD liners, next level protection.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Whoop.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
Hi, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today testing our new shock-absorbing sizing liners, the RAD liners. RAD foam reduces, absorbs, and disperses energy. With the creation of the RAD liners, we sought to change the single purpose of a traditional sizing liner and not only make it a sizing liner, but also a sweat absorber and impact reducer. S1 RAD liners feature our proprietary special blend of foam that add an additional layer of impact reduction built into the sizing liner that reduce, absorb, and disperse impact energy away from the head when impacted. Lab tests show that depending on the impact, RAD liners reduced impact energy an additional 7.5% to 16.5%, averaging 12% energy reduction to the head in all liners tested. RAD liners are sized just like our standard sizing liners and fit into all S1 Lifer helmets and are covered in a sweat-absorbing, hand-washable terry cloth fabric. S1 RAD liners, next level protection.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Whoop.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
Hi, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today testing our new shock-absorbing sizing liners, the RAD liners. RAD foam reduces, absorbs, and disperses energy. With the creation of the RAD liners, we sought to change the single purpose of a traditional sizing liner and not only make it a sizing liner, but also a sweat absorber and impact reducer. S1 RAD liners feature our proprietary special blend of foam that add an additional layer of impact reduction built into the sizing liner that reduce, absorb, and disperse impact energy away from the head when impacted. Lab tests show that depending on the impact, RAD liners reduced impact energy an additional 7.5% to 16.5%, averaging 12% energy reduction to the head in all liners tested. RAD liners are sized just like our standard sizing liners and fit into all S1 Lifer helmets and are covered in a sweat-absorbing, hand-washable terry cloth fabric. S1 RAD liners, next level protection.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
And we are back with just under 2 minutes to go in intermission. And I don't know if our mics are picking up the big noise that Stockholm are making as they prep to go into the second half. We were just talking about the first half and kind of what's changed, because we both felt, didn't we, Sven, at the start of the game, that the jam starts were really controlled by both teams. You know, like it was actually taking a while for the jabbers to get out. And it feels like that's really shifted in the last 10 minutes or so. Crime City getting out a lot faster, messing up those jam starts with Stockholm more effectively. Does Stockholm have an answer to that?
Yeah, I mean, it seems. I mean, first thing, and I stand by this is, I mean, for both teams, but mainly Stockholm, have got to keep 4 blockers on track. There's been too many situations, especially defending a power jam, where they've had 2 blockers, and obviously they're going to need all 4 blockers, I think, to get in the way of Fenella. I would be looking at some of the players we've already talked about, so Spino and Yaz. I would be finding ways to sit on Yaz and Spino, especially when the jammer's coming in, to stop them from finding the gaps and breaking the wall.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's hard to counter such strong offense from Kai. I want to see Stockholm be a bit more decisive on those jam starts, to decide, are we going to take the jam line? Are we going to take the pivot line? Because they seem quite content to hang about with Crime. And I would be going, no, I'd like to get away from you. Just also, I think something that will make the difference potentially to both teams is if they can adjust to the penalty metrics, because looking at the penalty stats, a lot of forearms coming in, a few directions on Crime City side, and a few illegal positions and multiplayers from Stockholm. So if they can adjust to that, then it might be a better picture for the team in white the second half.
So we're already underway. Vanilla Slice, of course, started on the power start, has already got lead and is in on the first scoring trip. Partio is back to track, star in hand.
Yeah, lovely dynamic wall here. Rhino, Dykestalker and Nasty. Nasty picks up a forearm. Vanilla Slice fighting against Stockholm at the front, but does find space to leap over. Party now completes the initial for Stockholm.
So I think Vanilla will call this maybe points and call. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Got bounce to the outside, so we'll have to wait for the confirmation of the OPR as to what the pass was. No pass for Vanilla.
Yeah. But that's...
Still picked up 4 in the jam though.
Yeah. You know, Crime City will take that. It's not like Crime needs to worry about the differential right now. I wonder what they've got, bear in mind that if Crime win this, they're going to have a couple more really tough games this weekend. Do you conserve energy? Do you try new things? Do you use this to perhaps try a move that you haven't?
Well, what you can't do is, you've still got an entire period to play. You can't take your foot off the brake and start resting people and
foot off the brake, foot off the gas.
Foot off the gas, I should say, foot on the brake. To coast into it and try and reserve energy and then let someone creep up on you, and then you basically make the later part of this period harder for yourself. But you do need to think about, if you have got such a lead, how do you then make sure you're not still wrecking yourself for the next games you've got to play? Because Crime have got another game to play today.
I mean, if I played one jam at this level, I think I'd be done. So, huge respect to all these athletes out there. And
Vanilla Slice through, picks up lead. Duke King, star off now, is looking for Foxen, I believe.
And Vanilla Slice just balletic through that inside line. Stockholm not really in a shape on that pass. Nice catch there by Fright Day, but good shielding offense coming in there from D. Mauer. And Duking now completes the initial after quite a bit of piling up in the pack. Little check in there from Vanilla Slice. Not a frantic call off by any means.
That was a massive down from Vanilla Slice. 12 points for Crime City there.
Do you know what's nice though is that Stockholm, I think, have had a tough couple of years. I remember seeing them play at Anarchy last year, and I think after the pandemic, people lose players and people move on and so on. And Stockholm used to be a bit more dominant on the European scene than they are now, but they do look like the Stockholm of old. They're just up against the Crime City of now, which is very, very strong. So it doesn't. Don't be fooled. Don't think that Stockholm aren't absolutely brilliant. And speaking of absolute brilliance, lovely careful spin to pick up lead status from Partio and Stockholm.
Lil Mads is in the pack, star in hand. Yaz has just come back from the penalty box as the pivot, but Yaz has gone straight into blocking Partio.
And you can see how strong Partio is physically, managing to move Dykestalker. Yaz now taking the star. This is Crime City's first star pass, I think.
I think they've looked for a few previously, but I think this is the first one they've actually completed.
And I wouldn't rely on being able to hold Yaz, but Yaz picks up 4.
And Lil Mads, the previous jammer, has picked up a penalty as a blocker now. And Partio goes for the points and call off.
Yeah, really smart work there.
Picks up 3.
From Stockholm, because they will have seen that Lil Mads is in the box and they think, well, we'd rather have you in there as a blocker than as a jammer.
And that's 11 points on the board for Stockholm.
That's got to be their biggest jam in quite some time. I know they've had, I think they've had, that equals their biggest jam, I believe. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's either 11 or 12, if memory serves, which quite often it does not.
We are seeing a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they had an 11-point power jam.
In period 1.
But we've got Reggae for Crime up against Yelmet. Yelmet has 2 to beat D. Mauer, and Yaz at the front picks up a lead for Stockholm.
Yeah, nice line coverage there from Stockholm as well. Against Reggae. Lovely catch from Friday and Foxen.
Reggae just evades that last minute hit from Friday to complete the initial trip. Yelmet takes a knock to the inside from Yaz.
Oh, wait.
Yaz going to take all the way back about 50 feet back to the Sucker Punch jam line. And Yelmet restarts this trip.
And we're back in the grind a bit more now. That was characteristic of the first quarter.
So Yelmet had picked up 4 in that, and Reggae also picked up 4. So 4-4 in the jam. 135 plays 46.
I don't know, if I was Stockholm at this point with lead, I might be tempted to run it a bit because they probably know at this point they're not going to win, but you might as well play with it. But then, you know, this is very much my personal opinion because I just want to see Stockholm play more roller derby, you know? Duking and Vanilla Slice. Vanilla Slice has really been favouring these lines, but now in a very scrummy patch. Duking stays in bounds really nicely despite a hit from Dykestalker and picks up lead. That's either the second or third consecutive lead, and it's very unusual to see Vanilla Slice not with a whistle and finger pointing at her.
So Stockholm are just trying to keep the momentum here, I think, getting some points, getting lead, controlling the game, playing it at their pace.
Yeah, three leads in a row for Stockholm, so a nice shift in momentum. Both teams going to need to keep a careful eye on their rotations because each team has 6 penalties for one of their blockers, Spino for Crime City Rollers and Friday for Stockholm, and they're really key players.
And that's what we said earlier in the game, is it could come back, especially if Crime had carried on in that increasing penalty count. But we've got Reggae has already through, picks up lead. Partio now out of the pack and following, but Reggae is in on the first pass. Reggae getting ready to do a call as Partio approaches. I don't think Partio caught anyone to get a point.
And Crime City doing some really careful clock management here. Great communication there between Dr. Steeble, the bench coach, and Reggae, who is keeping an eye on the box and wanting to spring their blocker free prior to the jam being called. So Stockholm are now an even 50, so a bit more heartening from Stockholm this half. Hopefully feeling a little bit more confident.
So Vanilla Slice has a 3 to beat, but Yelmet the Conqueror sees that inside line and takes it, picks up lead for Stockholm.
Scoring run here for Stockholm with 4 lead jams in a row, but we're all going to the races. And that will be, I believe, 1 point going up. No, 3. This is why I'm not a jam ref. 2. I can't count, Sven. I am but a simple woman of simple means, and my simple means do not include mathematics.
We've got jam ref fingers, and we've got a giant scoreboard over there that tells us the score.
Did you just mansplain the scoreboard to me?
No, I'm mansplaining counting.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fair, I'll take that. Lil Mads and Duking. Duking looking to make it 5 in a row for Stockholm. D Mauer coming up to help Lil Mads. Some people taking a bit of a seat. Or just checking the track is still there.
Big pile up at the back of the pack here. But Duking back up and trying to get through. Meanwhile, at the front, Lil Mads is almost static. D Mauer comes in to break it up. We've got an illegal contact penalty getting called on.
Nasty it is,
and
Stockholm now dropping to full defence. We've got a bridge there between turns 1 and 2. What a great defensive hold here. Oh, Duking escapes, but Rhino is in the way. Slows them down for a fraction of a second. Oh, hop, skip, jump, lead after 52 seconds of jam time. That's 5 in a row for Stockholm. What a great comeback.
And we've had the star pass once again to Yaz for Crime.
I love Yaz, I'm just going to say it. Yaz is so great. Also, her company have provided the food for this weekend, so she's my extra favourite right now.
Yaz being recycled all the way back to the pivot line by Fury. And Ju King picks up 8 points so far in the jam. Yaz gets through for the first 4 for Crime.
Yeah, you absolutely can't nap on Yaz. She knows what she's doing. And Stockholm now doing what I hoped they would do, which is running the jam long.
There was calls from the bench for a call-off there, but Ju King is just running this.
Do you know what? Sometimes, as a jammer, you just go, I'm in my flow. I'm in my flow, man. Don't disrupt me.
Well, Yaz is currently being caught on the 2nd scoring pass, and Ju King is on 4th scoring pass. And Yaz is now being recycled.
And we're all going backwards, so 12 points.
15.
Oh yeah, no, we're going to have some more go up. Yeah, 15 points. That is the biggest jam at the game for Stockholm Roller Derby. Thank you, Billy No Skates, for confirming that statistic for us. 8 points for Yaz with the star pass, so great work there from the Crime City pivot. But yeah, hopefully that puts Stockholm a bit of a spring in their step.
Well, I mean, they've come out of this second period and they've proved that they want to get lead now.
Yeah, it's an 80-point differential, and that is nothing to be sniffed at when you're up against the number 2 seed, one of the best teams in Europe. Vanilla Slice coming in on the initial. Crime City swallowing up that Stockholm wall, but great zonal clogging there from Stockholm. They feel a bit more settled, don't you think, Sven?
I think they're getting into it now, and it's fair enough. Vanilla Slice got the lead there, but if we look at the lead count, Stockholm have had the lion's share in this period, and I think that's just helping them get that momentum behind them, lift the spirits a bit, and start to formulate exactly what they need to do to close this gap a bit on Crime City. And they've still got 17 minutes to do this as Crime City take a timeout, their first timeout that they've taken of the game.
Yeah, it's been even Stevens on the leads, 5 apiece in this half. But Stockholm just look a bit more jazzed. There's high fives on track, there's smiles, there's a bit of energy from the crowd. I think Stevel and Lightlin and Curly Haw on the bench for Crime are just going, pals, let's remember what we did in that first half. Let's remember that we're safe, we're secure. What are we going to try to do? What are we here to show? I think there's always a bit of added adrenaline when it's your home crowd as well, when you're the host league. But it's not like they've not been here before. They're super experienced on the European roller derby stage. They've got the long game in mind. They've got their eyes set on champs. But maybe they just need to pull it back in.
Doesn't want the pinnacle of their design tech on your elbows, wrists and knees. Wow, that wasn't done.
Just want to give another shout out to 888, our amazing penalty box sponsor for this weekend. 888 are responsible for the certified sweat saver, developed, tested and trusted by the best, and the KP44 knees from 888, which provide low profile protection for maximum mobility and comfort.
And we had Hjelmet, the conqueror for Stockholm, has picked up quick lead. Reggae being recycled now, and that's going to be a low block on Hjelmet, I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and Hjelmet looks at the OPR and goes, I know.
Knew it. Just a loss of footing coming into the pack.
So this is a power jam for Reggae, who has taken the star off. So we are in a full 2-minute go around. Nice hold here from Fury, Scandi Crush and Foxton. Look at this interesting wall structure. We've been seeing this a bit more in Euro Derby now, where we have one backwards facing in the wall to control and filter that jammer. It's such an interesting technique. Hjelmet comes out the box, flies into the Crime City wall, takes a hit.
Stockholm lose a couple of blockers for forearms and an illegal contact.
Yeah, that's Fury back in the 888 penalty box. We do have a couple of Crime City's blockers on 4 penalties, and a few on 3 in Stockholm's court. So Stockholm's bench. Lovely lateral coverage here from Friday and Foxen. But Reggae, very experienced, manages to find the gap, not panic with that lateral takeout.
So Stockholm back to 4 on the track here. And we get a great move from Foxen and Scandi.
Oh, Scandi's little quick backwards crossovers.
She picked up the forearms in that move.
Oh, but the crossovers were great.
The crossovers were great, the forearm not so much.
So 4 points going up for Stockholm, 8 for Crime City.
4 points for Stockholm, so that's 157 points for Crime and 71 points for Stockholm.
What have we got coming up next, Sven, as well after this? Because we've still got, it's lovely to have a 3-day tournament where it doesn't feel as rushed. So after this, I think we've got Lom versus Doc as our first kind of consolation bracket game.
Which I think is predicted to be tight, like as in a 1 point game, I think.
Yeah, it's predicted that Lom will win by 1 point. But do you know what? Especially after Rainy Knot this morning, I am willing to believe that anything can happen. And especially as Doc and Paris yesterday, separated in rankings, in seedings for this tournament by 7, and yet only a 6 point differential. So who knows? I'm really being quiet because apparently there's going to be a happy birthday sing song.
Which I will not be joining in on. No one needs to hear that.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. You're not going to have to listen to me and Sven in perfect harmony in anything but our commentating.
So I'm not sure why we're in an official timeout at the moment. But there was a bit of a referee huddle.
So let's go back to what we were... So, yeah, Doc versus Lom next. I'm not going to make predictions, but I think it's going to be a great game. And then after that, we have Tiger Bay versus Helsinki. Now, the last time I saw that happen was August of 2022 or 3. It was one of those times because I went down to Wales to announce that game. So I know it was August at some point, or September. At some point in time in the last 2 years, Tiger Bay and Helsinki have played, and Helsinki won. And I remember they brought something like 9 players. It was ridiculous, but that was then, and this is now. And then later on, we have London versus Toulouse, and that is going to be a very significant game because the winner of that goes to the final. I'm saying it slowly so that if I'm getting it wrong, you can jump in.
I mean, don't look at me for this kind of thing.
Sven, I trust
live in the now. I live in the now.
I don't know where I live. Feels like I've been in this hall for my whole life. But yes, no, I think the winner of that goes to the final. The loser of that goes to the bronze medal playoff game. And then it will be the winner of this game versus Nantes for the other semi-final.
So as a result of that official timeout, Friday was put in the box for Stockholm. Not sure exactly what the penalty was.
Doesn't that mean that Friday should be fouling out? Because I thought
Friday's standing ready to be released from the box, so it can't have been a full penalty. Oh no, it could have been, because it's 30 seconds. So,
but I thought Friday was on 6. So well, she's entering track.
I think at the moment, I think Spina was the only one on 6 for Crime.
Anyway, we've had 40 seconds in this jam. No lead established. Oh, juking. Just the most beautiful toe stop work on the inside line at the far straight away to pick up lead for Stockholm. Lil Mads with star in hand up against Friday. And just some superb one-on-one blocking from Friday here.
Oh my gosh, what amazing blocking.
And now joined by Scandi and Rainbow Spite. But I was going to say a rainbow pass, but it's a star pass. I'm making new words now. To Yaz, no time to capitalise.
I think that was the 3rd star pass that Yaz has taken.
Yeah, Yaz puts the work in.
And as we said, I think in the first period there wasn't a single star pass from Crime, but they're using that a lot more now in this second period.
Yaz has actually got 12 points as a pivot, which is brilliant.
So we had...
that's outscoring some of the jammers.
Just at the end of that jam there, Dimauer went to the 888 penalty box for a forearm for Crime. So it is 3-on-3. Again, we're just another quick official timeout.
It's a special birthday. It's Jenny's birthday. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hip hip.
And it's going to be Vanilla Slice and Partio on the jam. Vanilla Slice climbs up the inside, and it did actually climb, picks up the forearm. Yeah.
Oh.
So the lead has gone to Partio.
And that's quite something, because that is one of the first times we've seen the Stockholm jammer escape just inches behind. So now with momentum and the lead status, Stockholm are in the driving seat this jam.
And they've got the blocker advantage at the moment. Dimauer just being released from the 888 penalty box right now.
Lovely sweep offense coming in from Stockholm. 4 points going up to join Partio's already earned 4. And that's 3 leads in a row for Stockholm, which equals their best lead streak. So yeah, definitely a game of 2 halves for the team in white.
Whatever was said at the half-time interval has worked in terms
of... We're in musical theatre.
I like to say interval, okay.
I just love the idea of an interval, like with a dramatic curtain coming down.
I love it when a wall is...
See, you've ruined it now. People at home don't realise a big curtain doesn't come down.
We've got a star pass to Dyke Stalker of Crime City. Second star pass for Dyke Stalker, and Partio's not going to take that risk.
Another 12-point opportunity there for Stockholm, bringing 89 to their score. Still 11 minutes 30 in the game.
And a little bit more penalty trouble. You've got Nasty, who's lining up for Crime City now. She is on 5 penalties and was such a key blocker for Crime, so they really don't want to lose her in that lineup. And that's 3 scoreless jams in a row for Crime. No? Billy, our producer, I love Billy, but Billy's just lied to me, and therefore I've lied to all of you as an extension. Not willingly, I was coerced by my wonderful producer.
We've got another official timeout here as John Cord Grand Slam is having over with Dr. Stevel.
Incidentally, Stevel and Lightland and Curly on the Crime bench are wearing what is potentially my second favourite fits of the tournament. And on the back it says Crime, but it's pronounced Crimea River. I mean, that's perfection.
So I think there's a penalty going to be issued. So yeah, Polytrauma's been taken off.
Well, it won't be a penalty then.
No, but I think they're going to put someone in the box potentially, because they've taken one skate off the track, and I think they're going to take someone and put them in the box.
So it'll be a captain penalty then, won't it, if it's delay of gameplay?
Well, we have a little bit of a...
This is why I'm not a referee.
Was it a delay of game?
I don't know. I wish at times like this we had little mics on the refs so we could spy and listen into what they're saying. But alas, this is not the case.
Yeah, so it looks like it is...
Yeah, so Dyke Stalker, the captain, is going to the box. Billy, are the penalties updating at the moment? We'll be able to find out what that is now that our highly technical big screen is back and working.
Great outdoor seating, always sunny, and with the most delicious Indian food.
But Yelmet, the conqueror, on the jam line for Stockholm. Up against Reggae, 4-on-3 pack advantage to Stockholm, so Yelmet wants to use this to the advantage.
Yeah, and it is an illegal procedure penalty for Dyke Stalker, so don't know all the details, and that's a 6 penalty for Nasty of Crime City. Yelmet resets, picks up leads, and Nasty back on track. There must not be space in the 888 penalty box right now. Yelmet with leads.
So yeah, Dykestalker comes back to track, so Nasty reports in.
And a really lovely, squishy 3-wall here from Stockholm. Reggae takes a reset and a bit of a run up. Rhino comes in for the offense, takes out Fury. Reggae finds the outside. Shakes off Vagabondage, but that is a hard fought minute for the Crime City Jammer.
Dykestalker picks up a multiplayer block penalty, so we'll go back to the penalty box.
That 888 penalty box must be, they've got to have like puppies or cookies there or something, because it is popular.
Well, if everyone wants to go and check out the 888 side of things.
I mean, 888 have been revolutionising roller derby safety with cutting edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options for a long time, Sven. So why wouldn't they want to go check it out? You can stay protected with 888.
And Crime City take a timeout. So we'll say hello to Skate and Create Factory. Need a gift for the skater in your life? Get skate-themed art, stickers and gifts from Create and Skate Factory, a passion project by Jukebox. Duke is a fellow derby skater playing in Barcelona, but you may remember her from her time skating with London Roller Derby, USA Roller Derby, Minnesota and Madison. You can find out more on www.createandskatefactory.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Create and Skate Factory. Remember, every sale supports a skater.
And she was like, she talks about it to this day.
Stockholm are so close to hitting that century mark. Crime City at 157, and actually Crime City have been scoreless for 4 jams in a row now. So a big momentum shift in favour of Stockholm.
She loves you. Hi from my mum.
Yeah, I mean, if my maths is about right, and I'm going to get someone with actual maths and stats in front of them to nod at me, I think Stockholm have put on about 65, 66 points, something like that, since there's about 28 points going into the half.
About
65 points in 20 minutes of this period.
What was the exact score at the half? Do you remember?
It was 28 at the half, and I think Crime were on 100 and something, 113.
Thanks, Billy, for confirming that for us.
As
You're
I said,
a legend.
actual people with actual maths. But we're in now vanilla slice, and Duke King has picked up another lead for Stockholm.
They're such a lovely controlled jammer, aren't they?
Star pass off to Yaz for Crime City, and Duke King's going to pick up the 4 and call that off.
So Stockholm again, just consistent, solid, get lead jammers, score the points, call it. I think it's a great game.
That's an even 60 spreads. And the Stockholm fans in the house are very happy. The Swedish roller derby fans always bring such good vibes to these events.
And such good songs, generally.
Oh, such good songs. We've got Partio and Reggae. Reggae with Katie tape flapping in the wind.
Dykestalker picks up the back block.
Reggae forced to reset. And Partio picks up leads. Yeah, Crime really need to watch these penalties. They're on 32, Stockholm on 23, and that. Oh! Oh, I just had to make a very loud vowel sound, Sven. Did you see that?
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
Toe stop on the line work.
Oh, somebody gift that immediately and put it on the internet.
But Reggae is out, completes the initial trip. Partio shuts the jam down with 8 on the board. That takes Stockholm over the century, 105 to 157, still 7:45 in the game.
Do you know, all I want to do for the rest of my life is watch that 3-second clip of Partio floating along that line. She was so light-footed. Oh, God, I love roller derby. Just in case that wasn't very clear. Mid start there, both teams straddling that central zone of pivots and sucker punch jam line. Vanilla Slice back where she belongs with that lead status.
Finally, Crime breaking the lead streak from Stockholm.
And Crime have been at 157 points for the last 6 jams, Sven. So now that's going up to 161 and the first time in what feels like a good old while.
And Vanilla Slice proving also apt at using those inside lines. Yelma has gone into blocking, so I think there's been a star pass to Scandi.
And Yelmet now dropping into the wall against Vanilla Slice. Lovely kind of controlled tracking there from Isaho.
Scandi just been smothered though by Dimauer and Rhino.
Grumpy holding the line there as well for Stockholm. Really nice controlled, slow derby.
We've gone back to that slog that it was the first few jams where neither jammer could shift the walls.
And Scandi dropping to a bit of defensive jamming here, which seems smart right now.
But this is playing into Crime's favour because they're running the clock down with this. They're also burning some energy. Now we've got Scandi Crush running Vanilla Slice back, but as I say, I think they're going to be happy just to run the clock out on this jam and not waste any more energy on it.
I think Stockholm are just enjoying the moments of control when they have them, and I would as well, to be fair. Scandi kind of shrugged and went, might as well.
I mean, I'm amazed at the way that Stockholm have got back in the second period and kind of adjusted the tactics, found the way that they can get their jammers out. I mean, look at the lead streaks they've been on.
Yeah, well, Stockholm have had 12 leads this half, and Crime have had, well, it can't be 9 because we're in jam 18, so...
Well, they've had one more because Reggae is out now with lead.
But anyway, Stockholm's lead percentage has gone up a lot this half compared to period 1.
So duking for Stockholm at the back, star in hand, pushing on Hannah Satana, just trying to move that wall forward.
Hannah Satana's limbs could just cover 3/4 of the track.
And we're getting a fast recycle of Reggae. Fright Day takes all the way back to turn 3-4 apex.
Vilda coming in with some nice offense there for Reggae. And nice tenacious work there from Reggae. Dyke Stalker heading back to the box for a forearms. Duking up against Hannah Satana. You know, almost a minute and a half go in the jam before Duking completes that initial. Great testament to Crime City's blockers.
So 1 blocker each in the box at the moment. Fright Day just picking up a penalty right at the end of that jam.
Yeah,
Crime
so
putting up 6 on that jam.
And you know, if Crime had another monster jam, they could hit the 200 in the next few minutes. And if anyone can do it, it's Vanilla Slice. Lining up now against Partio.
But that Stockholm tripod not making it easy, but Vanilla Slice moves to the outside and sprints around the pack to pick up lead. About 30 feet behind though is Partio chasing down. Points and call is the call of the day.
Yeah, Steve will not really wanting to give Stockholm any more confidence in their second half when they've got control of the jam clock. Now, yeah, Fenella not as dominant this half. I mean, which is, not saying much to be fair, because she's so good. But she's had kind of 12 and 11 points. But they've kind of got her number a little bit. And she had a 20-point jam in period 1. So being held back a little bit more by Stockholm. However, Reggae with a very quick lead status for Crime. Full complement of blockers on track, which seems quite unusual. Great offense there by Spino, threading a line through for Reggae. Star pass to Foxen, but no time to capitalise.
Did they or did they not? No points. No points for Stockholm, but it's going to be 1 point.
Crime pick up an extra point of 5 in the jam. 1 minute 20 remaining in the clock. 181 Crime City Rollers against the 105 Stockholm Roller Derby.
And like we mentioned earlier, you do not want to turn off your stream after this, because we have the first of the consolation brackets games coming up. They're going to be really close if this weekend has been anything to go by. We'll have Lom City Rollers versus Dock City Rollers.
And we're back in now. Fenella Slice and Duking. Fenella Slice is forcing up the inside. Duking being held up by Dimauer.
My apologies, I misread. It's not Lom City Rollers, it's Lom Bad Bunnies.
Yes, Lom Bad Bunnies.
So my apologies. Both jammers out on and now in scoring position for Fenella Slice. Running a long jam.
Yeah, they're going to run this clock out here if they can and end the game now. It's less than 30, there's 20 on the period clock now, so
great.
All they've got to do is hold 20 seconds and then that's game over.
Great catch by Scandi, crush of Fenella Slice. Duking up against Yaz, finds a gap. Will score in this last jam, which is always a nice thing to do.
These are points for their pride now to get those extra few points on the board. And that's it. Unofficial score at the end of the game. 186 to Crime City Rollers, Stockholm Roller Derby 109. And one of the things that's amazed me again, and something else that needs to be called out, is so Spino for most of that period was on six penalties, and the Crime were putting Spino on, and Spino blocked same level of aggression and assertiveness all the way through that second period and kept it clean.
Yeah, really, really fantastic adaptability there by our home league, Crime City Rollers. They will now go on to play Nantes Roller Derby for a place in the final tomorrow. That's later today, I believe. But coming up next, we have Lom versus Dock City. It's been a great pleasure to call this second game this morning. I've been Loud and Queer.
I've been Sven. We've been assisted by Billy No Skates. Thank you for your stats.
And we hope you've all had a fantastic time. We will be back in approximately 20 minutes, half an hour. Keep an eye on your stream clock, and we'll see you soon for Game 3 of Day 2 of this WFTDA Regionals Tournament.